I really wasn't going to review this season, but here I am. Thus, let's jump into my review of season 5 of Love is Blind. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today, we're going to be reviewing season 5 of Love is Blind, which is available now on Netflix. Yes, the first 4 episodes are available. Week 2 will have episodes 5 through 7. Week 3 will have episodes 8 and 9. And week 4 will have episode 10. And we're going to have a Where Are They Now episode dropping October 16th. Now, yes, I know the first 4 episodes are available, so I will talk into detail about that, and everything else will be spoiler free with reactions. And I'm just gonna say, I love Love is Blind. It is like my guilty pleasure, and thus I just watch it and enjoy it, and I really don't want to review it. I kind of add commentary to myself, but here I am, because I just got to be honest, of all of the seasons of Love is Blind, this one's probably my least favorite. And I'm gonna talk about it, but overall, I just feel like obviously there's only 3 couples here, and I feel like if we are truly proven that the experiment works, then I feel like there should be more couples. And even if it ain't even about the experiment, I feel like with all those contestants that we see but don't really see, you mean to tell me that no one else could figure it out? So I don't know about that, man. It's just I'm here obviously for the drama. Obviously, I want folks to find their one, but you listen, the Lacheys, this is what they do best. They create drama, and the fact that we only got 3 couples is kind of all right, I guess. But nonetheless, we're gonna talk about it, and I think we should immediately talk about the cliffhanger of an ending on episode 4, where Uche steps into the pause because he's ready to do his thing with Aaliyah, and the producers have some news for my guy. Aaliyah didn't show up, and I don't blame Aaliyah one bit. The whole Lydia stuff is messy, and what good could come of this? Number 1, she's ruining the experience for Aaliyah. Number 2, this chick is being all this buddy, yet you have a previous yet recent relationship with this guy, and then you just start running your mouth, and that ruins the experiment. But also it's kind of conniving, and it's whatever bit of sabotaging that she's trying to do, it ain't right for Aaliyah. And Aaliyah's already emotional, and I really feel for Aaliyah. She does absolutely lay it all out, and her emotions is poor this entire time. But to be fair, Aaliyah, I think, had the expectations of Uche's a nice guy, so when she lays down her truth and Uche responds in the way she does, I think that she should have had a little bit more realization that you did drop a major detail, and most people will be kind of taken back by it. And whatever his response going to be, she should just had no expectation. I think she was kind of thinking man, I was honest and we should be trending in a good direction, where Uche was more all right, I just need a little bit of time to kind of process that and whatnot. Now granted, Uche's been very high about a safe space and all this other stuff, so I feel like him with the whole recent cheater comment was definitely unnecessary, but well, it is what it is. But he also did kind of psychoanalyze her, and while there may be some truth to that, he's not really one to talk, especially with this Lydia stuff. So I don't know, man. This is a weird situation where I tend to think, might this have been a blessing in disguise? And I know Uche and his feelings and whatnot, but maybe Aaliyah did do the right thing, and this may be ultimately what Lydia wanted. And would Lydia just need to be worrying about her Milton situation? Maybe she is off of her well, if I can't have her, nobody else can. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you this though, the fact that she's there is really creepy. The details of how and why is just kind of just so it makes me really hard to trust this Lydia cat. And Uche too. Uche's a little bit of a I always gotta have the last word. I always gotta get my point across. I don't know. It's a weird situation. You will see some things in upcoming episodes of just how Uche is just confrontational. Confrontational is a good word here. Johnny, I don't like Johnny. Johnny is overly desperate, and since Izzy was like, nah, then she's like, oh, well, Chris, I said nah, but actually I didn't really mean to say nah, so hey? So at this point now, Johnny, who has had two previous marriages, or one marriage and something, I don't know, she had just two serious relationships, and so she's here and she's trying to figure it out, and I think Johnny is just flat out desperate for companionship. She is the epitome of a hopeless romantic, and I honestly think that beyond Johnny just trying to get somebody to fill the void, she is looking for somebody to replace, and her situation in her past is I feel for that. Like, it's sad. She lost her she lost her ex-fiance, and then she had a rebound after that. So with her not really getting that closure, or even that happy ending with her first fiance who tragically passed away, I think she's just chasing for somebody to replace him. She wants somebody to be him, which is the impossible task, obviously. But ultimately, it's just really toxic, because you're like putting yourself out there, making yourself available, making people fall for you, when actually no one can ever truly fulfill those shoes of somebody that's passed away, i.e. the person that she dated after him who never had a chance. So like, Johnny's toxic, completely just somebody that is just looking for anybody in here to either say that she got somebody, or to just use another person as a sense of a rebound. And poor Chris, who I think is a great guy, just run. But you know, Chris gonna figure it out. And meanwhile with Izzy, here's my thing about Izzy here. I was wrong about Izzy. I had my thoughts about Izzy initially, and Izzy comes around to really, to me, a sincere guy who just really tries hard. I think he is at a pivotal point in his life, in his career, and I think he truly wears his heart on his sleeve. And I think that he is somebody that's looking to build with somebody. I think that Izzy, and whatever bit of preconceived notions I had about him, and I think just Johnny just wasn't the one, even with some of the questions that he had with folks. I think at some point he locked in, realized what he's here for, and ultimately finding Stacy, who of the folks that he had options with, easily was the best option. And we'll see how it works. However, Stacy is absolutely, I think she's filled with red flags. I think that Stacy has a lot of things going for her good. And you start to question, with such a immaculate resume here, why are you here? What's sort of been your thing? To me, I think that Izzy and Stacy are at two different points in their life, so that in the past it works, because it is about the communication, the conversation, the building when tangible things are into play. So when they are, how that works, because you kind of get a sense Izzy, you know, is really working hard towards the things he wants to build and accomplish with the new job and whatnot. And Stacy is very much established and going to probably want somebody to meet her there. And that could work or not work. But I think that there's a lot of early signs with Stacy that just says, I don't know. So it's absolutely going to be a very interesting role, which again, I've seen all 10 episodes. So again, I'm just giving you a little bit of reaction, that understanding that there are differences here, and will they be able to stride together to make it work will truly be the story. I think differences with cultures, differences with lifestyles, differences with just work ethic, and even family structures, shall I say. I think Izzy and his mom relationship, and then we're going to really get a perspective about Stacy with her sister, her dad, and her mother, And when you get to those family episodes, I think that's when everything I'm saying is all going to be clear, crystal clear to you all. You're going to know exactly what I'm getting at here. But I think Izzy, I root for Izzy. That's just that. Well, this one right here is probably going to get me in some trouble. I like Taylor, and that's all I got to say. Taylor's great. JP, on the other half, absolutely scares me. It's a lot of red, white, and blue with this Patriot here. Good luck to them. That's all I got to say about that couple here. Milton, one time for Milton, man. This guy right here, even being 24 years old, but he's an engineer. So shout out to the engineers out there. He's holding it down for the engineers. I think that folks look at age and immaturity, but I think Milton's in his prime. I think he has a lot of good qualities about him, but over time he will mature. And I think the right person will absolutely be a great catalyst to seeing him really blossom into a young man who just holds it down. So I am all the way with Milton, who shows grace. I think he has great emotional maturity, but I think there will be some things that like Lydia will look at him to kind of say like, I'm used to this, or guys this way, because like, you know, she's 30, so she's seen and been around, you know, much more maturity, or been around dating a lot longer. And I think Milton is just on his way. So James Milton Johnson, the fourth, will be just fine. Lydia will have to have patience with him, which with Lydia, I think that, you know, take the Uche stuff out of there. I think Lydia truly is a person deserving of all the best things. I just think that they will have to work through communication. I think Milton, again, a lot of emotional maturity. I think that Lydia and all the stuff that she's been working on with herself should allow herself to be rewarded here with this. Now, what's going to get interesting here is Milton's family. When you listen, I'll just leave it alone. Milton's family will be interesting. That's that. But I root for them too. I truly do, because I think that while there's such an emphasis on age, I think the two can learn from one another, and I think that is truly the most important thing with the two of them, is that they do have a goal in both in finding love and sustaining that. But I think age shouldn't be a factor, because damn it, Milton got it all right. he got good income, he's smart, and I think that he just is trending in the right direction of everything that a woman should look for. So there's that. And Lydia just needs to show herself grace and allow just the time to kind of just show that the two of them could work out. So interesting. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when Milton pulls up with somebody like Lydia, all the engineering boys gonna be looking like, damn man, you got you something nice there. So shout out to Milton, who gives you nerd vibes, but at the same time, I think it's just calm, cool, and collective, you know. So with that being said, I mean, who else do I talk about? I talked about Leah, who just again hit the Houdini, rightfully so. Uche, who I think is just very confrontational. Johnny, red flags galore. I think she's completely desperate, and I think she's just looking for somebody to fill the void of a void that can't be filled, because she's already done tried it. And I think at this point now, she needs to take some time and work on herself. And I think she's overly like wants to ensure that she has somebody, to state that she has somebody. The desperation is at 1,000% with this one. Chris, smart guy, run. And then when you look at the couples, like just go down the list again. Like Taylor, I think Taylor's great. JP, next person. Izzy. No, seriously, to go with JP, I think like all jokes aside here, JP and Taylor, I think, is going to be a challenge, strictly because I think that they are, I think obviously there's a lot of like chemistry between the two of them, but I think expectations are like far away from each other. And I'm just going to say this, because when you watch it, you'll see JP's expectations is just, I think they're just way off par. Like, I'm trying to be sensitive here. Some of the things JP say, I don't agree with. And while I think there is a better way of saying what he's trying to say, his execution was terrible. And I think that Taylor shows a lot of strength and compassion. And I think she does her utmost to be very understanding of this little disagreement that the two of them have. But other than that, it's about communication with the two of them. And you're going to kind of have to see how that plays out. Izzy and Stacy, it's a lifestyle difference between the two of them, and you're just gonna have to see how that plays out. And then Lydia and Milton, I think it's just a level of understanding and furthering communication with the two of them. And obviously, just to focus more on Lydia here, the Lydia situation with Uche, that is going to be a thing. Johnny and Stacy will be a thing. Izzy and Stacy and Johnny will be a thing. Also, Izzy and Chris won't be a thing, but like there's like a little Brody situation going on there, and we'll see how that plays out. Also, Milton and Uche, there's going to be a thing, but again, Uche is confrontational in a way that's like very strange, like nothing physical, but it's just like maybe some things don't need to be said. Maybe he needs to learn that. So I don't know, but nonetheless, when it comes down to Love is Blind, I think, again, I really enjoyed season 3. Season 4 was okay. But this is probably my least favorite. 3 couples, not so much going on. A lot of the stuff I talked about, you already know, sort of say from early indications of the drama to come. But like, I'll tell you this, the wedding episode is way more detailed than any of them have ever been. Because typically, they got to get through them. They got plenty of time this time. So there's that. And that's kind of different for me, you know. But you'll see. But, you know, let me know in the comments who you're rooting for. Which of these 3 couples do you think are going to make it? Who do you think is not going to make it? All sorts of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments below. But until the next episode is released, y'all stay tight. And we'll see you back for more reviews very soon.
I